When I think about a woman of increase, I think about a woman who steadily grows every year, year over year. I think about a woman who is fully in her identity, stewardship, capacity. But I'm just curious what you think
Hmm.
when you think about a woman of increase.
Oh,
What comes to your mind?
I love all those things. I aspire to be those things. I love that you're talking. I love that we get to talk about them. It's like building the capacity to give more, love more, do do more, but not necessarily from a I don't feel like it's coming from a place of pushing, like using my willpower to do more. Because I've had a learning experience over the past year of building TMI that I can't really use just sheer passion
Yeah.
fumes and
Yes.
youth to get things done anymore. It doesn't I'm a little tired now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but being able to give more and that can be a simple thing or building a business or saying hi to somebody you see, like just being a force for good.
Yeah. How does how did your identity have to change from the Isabella before your business
Mm.
versus the Isabella running your business?
Wow. I feel a deep sense of responsibility in my bones that I've never felt before. Like having a business, specifically having a team, I love my team. I'm so protective over my team. I'm so protective over the members of our yoga studio and um, y- just stepping into that and knowing that people have chosen to be part of Toledo Mindfulness Institute, whether that's having me come into their corporation or being a member of the studio, because they believe in my discernment and my ability to create a space that is safe and welcoming and useful.
Mhm.
So I there's a great level of responsibility that I feel, and um, not every there have been definitely moments more recently where it's like, wow, this is a lot on my shoulders. I'm
Yeah.
like the yoga teachers over here, like, oh man, my shoulders. But um, I feel that I'm made for it.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to practice that.
Yeah, I think there's two major things that you said. First, you said, there's a weight and a responsibility.
Mm.
I think so many people want to build a business or step into higher leadership and just do more and be more visible, but they don't understand the weight that you carry when you do step into those roles because it's no longer just about you, it's about all the people you're carrying, it's about your team, it's about the people looking up to you. And so how do you not fold with that weight and that pressure on you?
Gosh, radical honesty, actually. Like with my team and stuff, it's I don't think I'd be able to sustain it if I was trying to be perfect all the time. Like actually creating and that's actually the real work what I found of leadership is creating a really good environment where like whatever is true can be there and it's actually used as a way to make better decisions down the way. So for me, if I had to feel that I was, polished and perfect, and I had to be this archetype of what I think an entrepreneur is, I would fail because I can't live up to that. There are some days, like you said, there's some days where, gosh, even last month, there were a lot of lows. Kind of collectively, I felt that the month of January, I interfaced with a lot of people, and a
Yeah.
lot of people were struggling in January.
Yes.
So it's being really honest about it and using it as a way to make better things in the world that
Yeah.
weren't there before.
Yeah, absolutely. You also use the word discernment, and I think that's so important because I believe to be a woman of increase, you have to be wise. There's a level of wisdom that is needed, and there is a level of discernment that you have to have. So how do you develop that discernment? How do you walk in that? And what is that? Tell us what that is and what that looks like.
For me, that directly translates into my mindfulness practice, being very clear about how is my body responding when I hear somebody talk or when I'm in a certain environment. Like when I became a member here, I walked in and I was like, "Oh, I love this." And actually, I don't know if you remember this, but you were the first person to give me a tour here. Yeah,
Really?
and I was like, "Oh, I like her. I like it here." And actually, going back to what I said before, building trust and having exceptional mentors.
Hmm.
Like, be very, 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 very picky
Mhm,
about who gets to pour into you
mhm.
because their lens becomes your lens. So I don't, when I'm, and I'm not perfect at this at all. I've been learning the part of
Mhm,
the discernment, building
mhm.
that is like making mistakes and falling flat on my face and going,
Yeah.
ew, that felt really bad.
Mhm,
But great, that's good. That's more information for you.
mhm.
So yeah, I've done things that I was like, not going to do that again.
Yeah.
I just you quietly step away from it. It doesn't have to be a huge slam of like, no, I shall never. It can be a quiet retraction of your energy. But discernment is also knowing that your energy means something. If I'm in a space, there's a responsibility that I feel in that because I have other people looking at me going, where should I be? What should I do? Discernment's for yourself. It's also for everybody else that you're leading.
Mhm. Okay, so I think, people always want more and more and more. And then when something really big happens and they get the thing that they've really been wanting and working hard for a long time, they tend to self sabotage. And I know this because that was me. And so, like, how do you prevent self sabotage when you finally grow into that increase that you've been asking for?
For me, it's all about my network having to convince me that I'm worth it. Like it's really hard to talk yourself into that, or at least for me. I know there's some people who are gifted who think they deserve it and own it and worked hard for it. That's just not a gift that I have. I need my network to say that was great. What's next? And for me, I always have to have what's next. It's not celebrating the moment.
Mhm. But why do you think it's so hard to, like, stay in the moment and, like, not have the ability to just celebrate where we are and to just pause and to just bask in the success that we've created?
Because we're always thinking about what's next. What's next? Let me try to control. Because I can be a control freak sometimes. I understand that.
Control enthusiast is
Okay, control and curious. I'll accept that.
yeah.
And I need to control what's going to happen next instead of just, like you said, being in the moment and just enjoying it. No, I need to see what's coming next so that I can prepare for it. But you can't prepare for something that you don't know what's going to happen, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, as with you, staying in the moment and having a support group. Sometimes we do talk ourselves out of things that we were asking for. That self-sabotage is a real thing. But having a support, a community who really rallies around you, um, who pours into you, is critical. It's critical.
And you know what's crazy is for me, this started at a really young age. I remember my high school teacher, I'd love to say his name right now, but I won't, say to me, you know what, Mary? Little Miss Susie Sunshine, you're only going to amount to a PTA president and you're going to want people to vote for you for everything that you do and you're not going to succeed. And that has stuck with me literally my whole life. So I think you learn at a young age that it's about proving. Okay, so then I proved myself. Now what else do I have to do? What else do I have to do?
Yeah.
And women who want to elevate themselves, it is a constant battle of like how do we find success next, at least for, my business. And then after we achieve it, how can we help somebody else you know, feel that way? But
Hmm.
it's a real thing.
It
It
is. It's a
is.
struggle.
It is.
I think we need permission to be successful. We need
Yes.
permission from someone. And so we find that, in our peer groups but I think it's so important. You both touched on identity though, because in order to feel comfortable with what you've created and what you've asked for and what you've worked really hard to get, you have to have a shift in your identity. Because if you stay the little Mary who constantly hears the voice of her teacher, then you don't grow into the woman who can rest comfortably in
Hmm.
all that she's built.
Hmm.
And so, how has it been shifting your identity, especially when you get into leadership roles and people are calling on you to lead things? And
Hmm.
um, how do you shift your identity though? How do you become the woman who could hold what she's asking for?
Well, for me, I'm a lot, right? You don't have to say mhm.
Okay.
And my identity has always been energy, right? Like I will never apologize for that is who I am. And, you know, throughout my career, it has been, you know, people saying, tone it down, tone it down. And it really hasn't been till my 50s and being on my own that I'm like, you know what? This is who
This
I
is who
am.
you
I'm
are.
loud, I'm opinionated, I like to laugh. And now what is amazing with that is I feel that my identity of who I truly am is way more powerful and has made me way more successful than trying to be this woman in a box in a
Mm-hmm.
corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you get to that point,
Mm-hmm.
that is the most enlightening thing that you can do. And I hate it that a lot of us have to wait until we're in our 50s. You're right.
I got a little time.
Yeah, you got a little
I'm already,
time.
yeah, I'm already
So
in my
just
50s.
figure out your identity
Yeah,
and then join
yeah.
the
Right,
crowd.
right.
But it is this amazing experience when you go, you know what? I'm a good human
Mm-hmm.
and I can be loud and funny and I could still get my work done
Absolutely.
and bid on jobs as who I am, not this corporate box that I can never really fit into.
Too many times we tie our identity with our jobs, our careers. So I am a this, I am a manager, I am a whatever. But take that title away, who are you? And too many times we don't know who we are because we've been so conditioned to say this, that box. This is me. I am Natasha Baker, and this is. I don't want to be tied to my job or my, organization or no. Outside of those things, who am I? And that's where we have to get down to the nitty gritty. And whomever that is, she needs to show up in every environment.
Right.
So it's just my.
I like that.
What about you?
What about me?
She like I'm asking the questions. I'm not.
I'm asking the question. No. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with everything you both just said.
Mhm.
I think for me, I have had to always give myself permission to enter into the next level.
Mhm.
And there have been many times where I've self-sabotaged
Mhm.
because I didn't really sit with it and allow it to happen.
Mhm.
And there was always that voice in the back of my head, well, who said you could get here? Who gave you permission?
Mhm.
So that's why I think identity is so important. It's one of the first pillars that we talk about in becoming a woman of increase is shifting your identity, because without that shift, you will self-sabotage
You will.
over and over and over
Absolutely.
again. So I think it's critical.
And I do think at different points of your life, whether it's, a mom role or a
Mhm.
wife role or a businesswoman role,
Mhm.
our identity is still kind of, coming together.
Absolutely.
But there are pieces of us that start very young that I feel like we should hang on to because
Yes.
that's our true self.
Absolutely.
As we
Sure.
learn and grow, we change our identity a little bit.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think at our core,
Mhm.
if we can hang on to who we truly
Vice
are,
versa. Yeah.
it's empowering.
Yeah, no, I totally
I
agree.
agree.
100%.
I'm gonna add to that because when I was a kid, I was always called bossy because I had to be the leader. I was telling folks what to do. You're bossy, and that was such a negative thing to me. I'm like bossy because folks made it so negative. But then as I grew up and I'm a leader. I'm a self starter. I'm one folks sometimes want to gravitate to because they see me doing. I'm not afraid to step out there. I'm not afraid to do things. So I look back and I'm like, well, thanks, kids, for calling me bossy because it's helped me because that has helped my confidence. I didn't see it then, but as I got older, I'm like, yeah, I was bossy, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think
just
that,
perspective.
yeah, exactly. I think that's part of keeping who you really
Absolutely.
are,
Or
because because I believe that you're born with everything that you need from the start.
correct.
Right. And then things get added to it, things get taken away, et cetera, et cetera. But who you are at your core is who is going to serve you. But like you said, so often we try to shift that to just kind of fit in with everybody else
Right.
or whatever the status quo is, or,
Mhm.
and we then neglect, I think, who we really are.
That's
Right.
correct.
But in the end, who we really are is what makes us who we are, right?
Mhm.
It's like that's the thing that makes us
Yes.
great.
Right. We just need everybody else to
We
realize.
need everybody else. Yes, we need everybody else to realize that. So we're gonna talk about stewardship.
Oh,
And
giving. Wait.
Because I really believe that we have to handle what we have well
Hmm.
in order to have more. And so, what are some ways that you've had to just be mindful about stewarding what you have well?
For me, time. So I have to steward my time, right? And that relates to capacity. In that we want to be involved in so many things. We want to touch on this. We want to do this. And we cannot be involved in everything. We cannot be part of this committee or go to this event. Or you can't.
But why? Why can't we stretch ourselves so thin that we can't breathe?
We can't because then you become ineffective.
Right.
You become ineffective. So you're head of every committee, but each committee is not getting the best of you because you're only given this much. And it's
Yeah,
not enough.
that in fact is not a strength of mine.
Mm.
I am a dive into too many things and stretch
Mm.
my. I haven't reached that point where I can compartmentalize those things, and I wish that I could. I'm heading that way.
Mhm.
And my issue too is I'm 100%er,
Mm.
so I will die on the sword or not get sleep or compromise things personally to try to effectively help others. And I think that is something that I need to learn from other women on how they do that, because that is
It's hard.
that is not my strength.
And I've done that. But then I go home and I close my door and I'm bushed.
Yeah.
I'm crying. I'm exhausted. I can't move. I can't do anything because I'm exhausted because I've given all of me to everybody. I've stretched myself thin.
And I have the exact opposite effect. I don't know how to relax. Like I don't know how to settle. Like I'll go home and Brian will be like, "Oh, we're gonna watch TV." I'm like, we got to do this. We got to have, like that would drive somebody absolutely crazy."
And I was that before. And I
Yeah.
said, I cannot because I was not showing up as I know I can,
Right.
especially for my kids.
Right.
They needed their mother, like they needed her, but they're grown now. But it I had to get to that point because I was the go, 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 go. And people like, I just saw you at such and such. I just saw you at this event. I was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to be a whole bunch of nothing.
Right. And they always say, try to get a
Balance.
balanced life.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I-
it doesn't
No,
exist.
my life is like, this.
Yeah.
So something is always suffering, and that has worked for me up
Mhm.
until this
Mhm.
point is, if you give 1,000% here, you just have to know that the people will know that some parts are not going to be,
Yeah.
the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I feel like I could work on,
Mm-hmm.
my
Yeah.
stewardship.
Yeah. So, I think a lot of women are uncomfortable talking about money. It's just not something that we openly discuss at the table. And let's talk about it because it takes money to do what we do.
Right.
And we're all business owners. We charge, so people pay us. We have to use that money well. Um, but, there's been challenges on, how do we charge and, is how do we know what to charge and is it uncomfortable and all these different ideas that women have about money that they don't have the right somehow to earn it. So let's dismantle that. Like, how did your mind frame have to change when you became business owners?
Well, you and I have had this conversation a million times because I am not good at asking for my worth ever. I mean, all of us we struggle with that, and I have to be reminded of that. For me, when money became most important as in my entrepreneurial journey, is when I made the commitment to bring on another staff member.
Right.
I'm not a money is not my driver, energy and helping others and passion and all those other things. That's my driver. So money has never um, made me better or worse. But until I hired somebody else, I knew that it was my responsibility that I have to show our worth. I think having that kind of responsibility for somebody, and I mean, you have employees and it's a lot to take on the responsibility of somebody else's livelihood. So that's what has been my driver as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. For me, I love to think about things very holistically. It's like, what is a healthy business? A healthy business has great revenue
That's
so that
right.
it can
That's
give
right.
more.
That's right.
And so I had to actually, I was Will, your husband, he was on a panel for Rotaract, which is the young professional group, and he said lots of really great things. But one of the most important that I remember very clearly, he said, "Don't spend your money on stupid stuff."
Yeah.
And literally, that has been going through my head since the very beginning of opening our brick and mortar. It's like everything that we're investing in, it has to serve a purpose
Yes.
and a level, what I think about is like a level of care. Like
Yes.
this money that I'm spending right now, whether that's on amenities or an app. We're getting an app, which is really exciting.
So exciting.
Yeah, it used to just be, it's like, what's the check-in process?
Yeah.
Hey, girl, just show up. Now we're
Yeah.
actually going to be more official about things. But that's actually a great point. It's like, that's an investment. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, that's an expense."
Mhm.
Right.
I've been very, very, very bare bones
Mhm.
to get the studio going, but now we're at a point where it's like, okay, in order to serve more people,
Yeah.
I have to reinvest back in
Mhm.
and, take a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the risk is the word that I was going to use next. And I think that when we talk about believing in ourselves,
Mhm.
that's again, and knowing our identity and feeling that we have permission to go, we can do this.
Mhm.
It's the risk part
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
is the really fun part of owning your own business when you believe in yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
I think risk and faith
Yeah.
go hand
Oh,
in hand.
Oh, I
absolutely.
love that.
Yes.
That's
And
beautiful.
but you have to have them both.
You have to have them both.
And for me, I now take more risks because I have faith in lots of things, myself, my
Mhm.
people, my community,
Mhm.
my higher power. Like
Mhm.
we have to have both
Yeah.
faith and risk
Yeah.
to
I love
elevate.
it. Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of that scripture, faith without works is dead. That means
Right.
you can have all the
Right.
faith in the world and you don't do something with it, it's dead.
That's
It's dead
exactly
weight,
right.
So I believe that wholeheartedly. Risk is scary. Risk is never actually fun when you're doing it.
No.
Um, it's terrifying, but I think it's the only way to do things,
Yeah.
and you do have to have that faith. And but also, I believe that to be able to put yourself in a position to take the risk, you have to steward the money really well. You have to make wise investments. You have to make sure that you are, do not buying stupid stuff, like you said, you know, or else when the aka opportunity is there, you won't be able to take it
Right.
Right.
because you didn't do well with what you had. And I think that's a lot of the hiccups is that we don't think long term about things. We might have this pot of gold right now, but how can we use it in such a way that when the opportunity that looks like a risk shows up, are we able to take it?
Right.
Mm.
Have you ever experienced a door opening that felt bigger than your resume?
I'm going to say
Mhm.
yes. Yes. In the field that I'm in, I was in a level, and what I was not even thinking about, that door was presented to me. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do leadership right now. I'm comfortable where I'm at. At that time, my confidence level was through the roof. I'm not going to lie. Because I knew my job, I knew what to do. I was confident. I knew how to do my job, and
Mhm.
I knew the ins and outs. And I'm like, well, why not?
Mhm.
Let me bet on myself. Let
Mhm.
me go for it.
Yeah.
And I did. And others around me saw something in me, and I'm like, and I saw it in myself already. So, okay, we're on the same team. So let me go for it.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
went for it.
But do you think there has to be a level of preparation? Because I always like to say that, opportunities come to those who are prepared for them.
That is
If you
correct.
had not been prepared, if you did not know your job as well as you knew it, do you think that opportunity would have come to you? And what did you do to be in a position where you were prepared for opportunity even when you weren't looking for it?
My preparation was, I hate using the words always and never because we're not always and never doing anything. But more times than not, whatever I did, I gave 100%.
That's
And whatever I did not know, I would go and try to find the answer and I didn't always just ask somebody. I went to go do the research myself, go find the answer for myself. Because if you're not there, I'm going to sit and wait for you to come back to get the answer. No, I have to go and get the answer myself. So for me, it was about making sure that that I not only knew my job, but things that I did not know, I was going to go find out and learn because you can't learn everything. And what I did not know, I kept a little binder of different things that I've learned because it can't stay all up here, right? And when people saw that in me, like, okay, so she's one who does know a lot, but whatever she does not know, she's going to go find it herself. She's not going to wait for somebody to give her the answer. We'll go search for the answer herself.
So you said something really important, and that is like giving your all to whatever it is you're doing, like being 100% at it. And that's for me one of the core pillars of being a woman of increase is that whatever she does it with all of her might, and she does it with excellence.
Mhm.
And so, how does that philosophy fit into what you're building?
Deeply. I love what you said about the binder. I'm going to do that. And that's fantastic. But that's like an entrepreneurial thread, even if
Mhm.
someone's not an entrepreneur. But this taking care of your
Yes.
own
Mhm.
self is
Mhm.
that's being an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
That's in any
I
industry.
never thought about that. I'm gonna, so I'm an entrepreneur.
You
You
are
do?
Okay.
deeply.
No,
Oh
you
yeah.
really are because one of the key foundations of being an entrepreneur is taking care of not only your things but other people's things as if they were your own.
Ooh,
So when you're
yes.
creating that binder
Mhm.
for something that maybe you don't even own that
Mhm.
company, but you work for that company and you are making sure things are organized, they're in alignment, they're done well according to protocol,
Mhm.
you're taking leadership, you're executing things. That is such ripe and soil ground
Mhm.
for when you step into your own thing for that to be really, really blessed because you took such great care
Mhm.
of that thing that wasn't yours.
I received
Deeply.
that. I received all of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A phrase that I love to live by is you get rewarded in public what you practice
Mhm.
relentlessly in private. I
Yes.
cannot tell you how many TED
Mhm.
Talks I've given in my car
Yeah.
over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Have I given a TED Talk yet? No, but I'm prepared.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm practicing. I'm listening to really exceptional people, and I don't know. But when those opportunities do happen, I loved that question about like
Mhm.
was there something that the door was like really big? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Mhm.
had one of those amazing moments presented to me from the metro parks this time last year. It was one of those like I literally like almost spit up my coffee at Matt. I was like, Are you serious? Like you really you?" And to your point, like I have been all in on this for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been all in on, and people know that about me.
Mhm.
I'm relentless. I'm absolutely obsessed with being the best yoga teacher I can be, the best leader I can be,
Yes.
and I'm a maniac about it. I think about it all the time.
Mhm.
So trusting that that momentum
Mhm.
and that faith
Yeah.
will pull me forward, and I'm on a stage, and also on the other side of it though, I have had a situation recently where uh, the door was not it wasn't quite the right time for that door because my
Mhm.
systems aren't quite ready for it.
Mm.
So that's the other side of it too, is that I've had both of those lessons within the last year, and there's a different feeling to it though.
Yeah.
When that door was actually really for me, I got excited. I was
Mhm.
like, okay, how do I grow bigger?
Mhm.
The other door, it was like just deep fear.
Yeah.
It was like, I can, but what am I gonna I'm gonna hurt myself if
Mhm.
I try to make this happen right now. I'm
Mhm.
gonna hurt my team.
Yeah.
Again, like if it's not about me, it's about my team. Like
Mhm.
this is too much for us at this point.
Yeah.
And swallowing that and going, okay, I can't just force my way into
Yeah.
making that happen, but
Yeah.
saving it for another day.
Yeah.
And add on to that is when things are presented or decisions are made. I don't know what everybody's spirituality or faith is or what have you, but I really have to go to God in prayer
Mhm.
to get to say, is this the right thing? Because I don't want to move out of order,
Yeah.
out of alignment.
Ooh. Yeah. No, I don't.
No,
Yeah,
seriously,
no,
and
that's so
I'm
important.
sad to say because
Yeah.
I have stepped out of the will of and got myself into stuff that I had no business
Yeah.
being in because I
Mhm.
didn't go to him first. And people are like, oh, it's not being churchy or no,
Mhm.
it's not churchy. It's my relationship.
Mhm.
Okay. And when I do that and I have a peace, and when that peace, yes,
Mhm.
then I
Yeah.
was right.
Yeah, I love that you say that because I think that the right idea at the wrong time is still a wrong idea. You
Mhm.
know, and the timing for things
The talk.
is so
Mhm,
important.
mhm.
And then also, I like to move with peace. So if I have an absence of peace to me, that tells me that this is not the right thing or it's not the right time.
Yes.
So if the peace isn't there, not do I have everything I need,
No.
because I might still not have everything I need, but I have
Correct.
a deep rooted peace
Mhm,
about doing this thing.
mhm.
I try to move with that. So that's my gauge. But this has been so fun.
Yes, it
I
was.
love
Yes,
this
yes.
conversation. I could talk to you guys forever.
We
Um,
got time.
but we'll have to pick it up. We'll
Mhm.
have to pick it up.
Please, yeah.
So yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I think it's critical that we teach, um, and not only just teach, but I think that it's so important for us to tell what we know, to share our experiences. And I consider all of us at the table to be women of increase. I believe that what we're doing increases not only ourselves, but our communities, the people in our lives, everything. And I just thank you for sharing your perspective on what it means to be a woman of increase, what that looks like to you, and how you're doing that in your lives. And I'm excited to share it with other people.
Me too.